We're trying to write a title screen for a D&D session that well, let's see. I get ink flowing through the pen first. Oh yeah, and if you hear any weird like clicky sounds on the recording, like very strong clicky sounds, that's because the webcam that I'm actually using to record this, it's all-in-one audio and webcam all in one. And whenever the camera does an autofocus or has a refocus, whatever reason, that's hitting off of the internal microphone inside the webcam. So that's what the clicky sound is going to be about if it's on the video. But hopefully I can edit them out. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do today is, oh my god, that's a lot of ink on my pen. Write a title screen for a D&D session I have recorded. We're going up on the main channel. Get this working. There we go. What I'm doing here is I'm just creating a title screen. Geez, that's awful. The title screen for the RPG session, which is set in Darkshire town, I suppose. The heroes have to go on a rescue mission, save someone that's important to them. It has to be probably the worst D I've ever made. Yeah, I'm not too happy about that. Like an apple. We'll just try again. We can always try again. Let's go to the next segment here. Yeah, try again, I guess. See if I can do better. Now that the ink is flowing properly through the pen, that's part of the issue too. Right. It lacks character. What's going wrong with my pen today? Is this nib too narrow? This nib might be too narrow for a capital. Let's try a wider nib. See if we can get a better effect, because I'm not happy with that effect, to be honest with you. Gone blurry for a sec, guys. Keep practicing our D's for now. Because if we can get some character into this title, it'll look more attractive for the viewers and so on. So let's see how this one does. A much wider. The title letter, I think it should be, you know, some decent character to it. That looks, for me, a lot better. I'm having slight issues with pen being a little dry. Around here, for example. Otherwise, a little better. I haven't done calligraphy in about could be 5 months now. No, it could even be more than 5 months. Could be like 8 months. I don't seem to be getting enough of a sharp angle on my pen. You're meant to you hold your paper at like a 45-degree angle, and I'm not doing that. So that could be part of the issue. I wonder if people look at that D and they'll wonder what is that? Like it's a medieval D, but People might not understand what it is, so maybe I should just completely scrap that idea. Start fresh. This is not exactly what I was expecting it to be. We'll try again. Throw down a different sheet of paper. Fine. Start again. We'll do a more, well, I don't want to say traditional D. I'd say more recognizable D. That's probably the word I'm looking for. Something a little bit more stylistic that people will understand better. Important too, you know. For example, I think this will be far more attractive for people. See, how far would I go with this? Keep it in. For example, I think most people will recognize that a lot better than the medieval style D. So I think that's exactly what I'll do. And because that's so large, I'm going to stick with my wide nib pen. The smaller ones, I guess. So. Yeah, it's much more distinct. I'm normally used to writing in much smaller calligraphy, very small calligraphy. But this larger nib is probably exactly what I need for a tile screen. Okay. How high do I want to put this? Not too high, I'd say. Pretty good. Is Darkshire one word or two words? I'm going to say it's one word. Would it look nicer with a big elaborate S on it? For me, I'm thinking the smaller S. Let's go with that. This is always a little tricky to do. Not using any lines here because I want the I don't mind if it gets a bit wobbly. It adds a bit of personality to it for what it is. The D&D session itself, as far as I can tell, it's a one-off session, so you get about an hour, just under an hour. I've already edited the footage, and I'll be waiting on my artist to see. I need to be careful because if I follow this line of the H, it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. I'm just waiting on my artist to create some sketch work for the actual different scenes that occur in the Darkshire adventure itself, and then I'll be putting it up on the main channel. I'll leave a link in the description. I'm presuming it's going to take a couple of weeks to see that happen because artwork obviously takes time to make. And I've asked that's not not the high quality artwork in the world, because otherwise just the video will never get out, and that's not the aim. I'm noticing that my R is a little small, so I'm going to make a bigger E to compensate for that. So that's okay. Can I do something with this R? Let's try and just. Ooh. Careful. There's no undo button here. Look, that looks a little messy. Yeah, it's okay, but for a title, I'd want something a little better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write an R over it. I'm going to edit that in Paint or something, I'll just drag it down. So I'll just make a better R, like so. We'll just edit him in, because that's not a great R, is it? We can do better than that. And we may go for the underheading as well. So how can I do this so you guys can see? Well, okay, I can always adjust it on the thing later. So let's see. We'll go with something like this. Okay, pretty good. And letter D. How do I draw you? Yeah, if you like horror stories, you like mystery and undead and vampires and things, I think you quite enjoy the Darkshire adventure. Featuring Boto, who's involved with the Hexbro series, and also Shell or Michelle, who creates her own artwork and will be creating artwork for the adventure itself. And it's actually, in both cases, their first D&D game ever. They've never played D&D before. They've heard, like a lot of people, they've heard about it, had some interest in it, but they've never actually played in it. So it's actually quite interesting to see how they interact with the system. I keep things fairly straightforward. But I was really impressed by how much they dived into the roleplay. They had great interaction, and it's just oh, this is what I get for talking. Okay. See if I can get away with this. I don't think I can. There we go. I have to just edit him in. But yeah, in terms of the roleplay, they do quite well, and the way they engage with the system is quite interesting, quite unique, and I'd say in some cases they're better role players than people I've played with for a very long time. People who've been playing D&D with me for much longer periods than Photo and Shell, and they've made a better job of the roleplay system, which was very interesting to me, that you can see beginners really being like fish to water in terms of engaging with the system. I don't know if that's if I've improved as a DM, but you can always tell when people are enjoying the system, and there was definitely a lot of fun had on this adventure. So I would say, why not go to the channel and watch it? I'll leave a link in the description when it's available, because why not? It's a one-off adventure, it's less than an hour, and the quality of it is actually quite high, so why not? I think I got enough to work with there. No, maybe we'll just try this, tidy up the D a little bit, just a tiny bit there. What do you guys think? I think that's decent. I've got a little bit of editing to do in Paint. That's only because I was talking as opposed to paying full attention to what I was doing. It's also been a very long time since I did any calligraphy, so I'm happy enough. Could have been a lot cleaner, but look, there's mistakes in all the codexes. Right. I guess we'll leave that there. So